Hi everyone, this is Sunette, and in this video I'd like to share an experience with you that I recently had, which was in relation to your physical body acceptance. So within most of us, when we stand in front of the mirror naked before ourselves, men and women, there's always that something or some part of your body or your body overall that you tend to judge. Where the moment when you look at yourself, it's not even anymore just thoughts coming up or backchats coming up. It's like just this overall emotional experience that almost takes over yourself when you're standing in front of the mirror. It's sometimes even so intense that you want to not look at yourself in the mirror and just walk away and not have to see what you see through your mind in the mirror. So I'm sure many are able to relate to this experience. So the first thing that I want to show you is that what's coming up inside of you is an emotional experience. It is an energy. It is a part of your mind. I mean, when you're standing in front of the mirror and you look at yourself, remember that you're looking at yourself through your physical eyes. And to, for a moment, place yourself in the shoes of your body. Like, look at yourself through the eyes of your body. Imagine that, it's not your mind or your emotional experience that's seeing what you're seeing in that mirror. It's your own body. It's been fascinating, this experience with portaling, where I also, within my personal process, in the beginning of the years when I was in my early 20s, also went through my own process in relation to self-acceptance and physical body acceptance. And the process that I walked, that I practiced, was whenever I'd stand in front of the mirror and any experience or emotions or thoughts would come up, I'd forgive them. I'd stand in front of the mirror before I'd bath or before I'd shower. And then just for a couple of minutes, do some self-forgiveness aloud, right there as I'm looking at myself in the mirror. So, for example, you also within this process become more aware really of how your mind moves based on what you're seeing through your physical eyes, what you're seeing as your physical body. Where I also started becoming so much more specific in relation to any movement or emotional experience coming up in my body. So it first started off with I would be standing in front of the mirror and I would hear the thoughts and the voices in the head coming up, all the judgments and comparisons and back chats and things like that. And the moment they'd come up, I would start forgiving. Like, I forgive myself, that I've accepted and allowed myself to think that my body is not good enough. If my thoughts would, for example, go to, oh, body is so not good enough, or if the thoughts came up of no guy would like me if they see my body, so, and then I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed such a thought of no guy would accept me just because of what my body looks like. What is important that I accept myself in who I am. So I would also do corrections within the self-forgiveness statement. And then if there's emotional experiences coming up like dread, I've found sometimes I'd look in the mirror and then just this emotional experience of dread would come up. Then I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to participate in an emotional experience of dread in my defined relationship with my own body. What starts opening up is this entire network of information and data and images and comparisons and voices in the head based on this massive relationship that you created to your body in your mind. And then, fascinatingly enough, over time, it took some time to walk this, because goodness, I developed a relationship with my body through my mind from when I was a teenager, so like lots of ideas, perceptions, beliefs, reactions, memories and things came up in my mind as I was standing in front of myself naked. And, there was like sometimes this point coming up inside of me of when is this going to stop, Because it was like I would stand in front of the mirror to see what comes up in my mind, that I can bring out, that can be exposed, so that I can forgive it, so that I can let it go, because I just reached a point in my life where I realized that that's not the relationship I want with me, with my body. All the stuff that's coming up in my head. And then not only when I'm standing in front of the mirror, it came up in random moments throughout the day as well. So there was a time where I focused a lot of my process on correcting and realigning this relationship with my body. And then, after some time, what started coming through slowly but surely is where I would be standing in front of the mirror and just looking at myself, and it was just like, this me, nothing more, nothing less came up in those moments. It's just, this is me. And then I would start turning around and just playing with the angles as well in front of the mirror, seeing if anything else would come up in my mind. And then, yes, some things came up. Like, for example, the buttocks. What it looks like, the alignment and things like that, and then pictures and stuff would come up, and then I would do my forgiveness. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to compare my buttocks to that of others, and really honestly start releasing all these things that's coming up in my head, because the point, my goal that I had was to be able to just find out what it means for me to see my body for what it is, not through my mind, but through me, through my relationship with it. And then slowly but surely it finally started coming through, where I would look at my body and it's like, this is me, this is my body. And then I would start actually noticing and seeing the lines, the contours, the shape, and be proud of it, be grateful that, I know that this is me. This is my body. This is who I am within it at this moment. So here is a practical support and assistance process, for how to assist and support that inner relationship with yourself and your body, in relation to getting to that point within yourself where you can look at yourself through your own eyes, at your own body, with that acceptance, appreciation, and gratefulness. All right. Thank you very much.